Brethren, one thing that the early church had that is lacking today is genuine love. That's one thing that the early church had that is lacking today. In Acts chapter 4, we've done this before, but I just want to read a few portions here. In Acts chapter 4, verse 32, it says, "Now the multitude of those who believed were of one heart and one soul. Neither did anyone say that any of the things he possessed was his own, but they had all things in common." This is the love we're talking of. Everything in common. Look at verse 34. "Nor was there anyone among them who lacked, for all who were possessors of lands or houses sold them and brought the proceeds of the things that were sold and laid them at the apostles' feet, and they distributed to each as anyone had need." Today, apostles are commanding everything to themselves. No distribution is taking place. Now we have hierarchies of salaries in churches. May the Lord have mercy on our apostles, honestly speaking. This must be an abomination in the sight of God. Despicable things that we are doing. We are now acting as though we are of the world when we should be of Christ. In Romans chapter 12, verse 9, the A part, what does the Bible say? It says, "Let love be without hypocrisy." True love is not partisan. There's no hypocrisy. But not us. In verse 10, the A part again of Romans 12 says, "Be kindly affectionate to one another with brotherly love, in honor, giving preference to one another." This is the issue here. The early church manifested this love. They built a community in Jerusalem. And I don't think there was a hall big enough to accommodate all the Christians in Jerusalem. They probably met in homes, in different homes, but not one of them said, "This home is my denomination, is different from that." They gathered everything together and took it to the apostles, and the apostles distributed. The apostles did not take it to themselves, like we do today. Somebody asked a question in one church and said, "The Bible says that bring ye all the tithe that there may be meat in my house." And they asked the pastor, "Who is supposed to be eating the meat?" And the pastor opens his mouth and says that the meat that is speaking there is the same thing as the Bible said in Genesis chapter 2, that God made the woman to be meat for the husband. I said MEET and MEAT are the same. You can see how we are twisting the Bible. Twisting the Bible because we want to keep everything to ourselves. Meat in the houses for those who are hungry, feed them. But the pastors are living ostentatiously. You see a pastor boasting about how much money he has, and there are poor people in his congregation, and he has not helped them one bit. I know of a family of 4, or rather more than 4, that are struggling to train their children in school, and they are part of a big church, and the church is not helpful. Gradually, the man has started withdrawing from going to the church. They were not born, maybe they were not born again, I don't know. But if they were coming to give, by the time they see your kindness, even if he didn't want to get born again, the love of God will strike him and he will come to Christ. But we are doing things that's driving people away from the kingdom. Brethren, we must stop biting one another. We must stop attacking one another. We must come to the place where we can help one another. Let us also have the Spirit of God in us. If you say, "But how do I know if this person is of God?" Do you not have the Spirit of God in you? Help him. Even if you don't know, God has a way of helping you. Sometimes we do things. The fellow may feel that he has cheated us and gone away, but God sees him and God sees our heart. We did it in the integrity of our hearts and we helped. Why can we not help? Why do you always think that somebody is going to cheat us? Brethren, that's what I came to challenge us on today. Let brotherly love continue. Let's go to God in prayer. And we're going to ask for those 3 things. Lord, number 1, help me to grow in love. Number 2, help me to manifest your love. Number 3, help me to walk in the Spirit. Let's go now and let's talk to God.